First Contact and Misunderstanding. The massive alien ship hung in Earth's orbit, a silent colossus that had appeared without warning. On the bridge of the United Earth defense vessel Horizon, Captain Sarah Chen stared at the view screen, her heart racing. This was it. First contact. The moment humanity had dreamed of for centuries. "They're hailing us, Captain," Lieutenant Ravi Patil announced, his fingers dancing over the communications panel. Sarah took a deep breath. On screen, the alien that appeared before them was unlike anything they had imagined. It had a crystalline structure, with facets that shimmered and shifted in mesmerizing patterns. When it spoke, its voice was a series of musical tones that the ship's computer struggled to translate. "Greetings, primitive carbon-based lifeforms," the alien's words scrolled across the screen. "We are the Zarkali, explorers of the cosmos. We have come to assess your species for potential inclusion in the Galactic Confederation." Sarah fought to keep her expression neutral. "We welcome you to Earth. I am Captain Sarah Chen of the United Earth Defense Force. We are honored by your visit and eager to learn about the Galactic Confederation." The Zarkali's facets pulsed with what might have been amusement. "Learn? Oh, small beings, you have much to learn indeed. Our initial scans of your world show a technologically stunted civilization, barely capable of interplanetary travel. Your atmosphere is a toxic soup of oxygen and nitrogen. How you manage to survive in such conditions is puzzling." Sarah felt a flicker of anger at the dismissive tone, but she pushed it aside. "We may surprise you," she said diplomatically. "Humanity has overcome many challenges in its history." Yes, the Zarkali toned dismissively. "We've heard similar claims from other developing species. Very well, we shall conduct a more thorough assessment. Prepare your leaders for a series of tests. If you prove worthy, you may be granted a probationary status in the Confederation. If not..." The alien's facets darkened ominously. "Well, let us hope it doesn't come to that." As the transmission ended, Sarah turned to her crew. Their faces mirrored her own mix of excitement and apprehension. "Well," she said, forcing a smile, "it seems we have our work cut out for us. Let's show these Zarkali what humanity is really capable of." Little did the aliens know, they had just awakened a sleeping giant. Humanity, long accustomed to being the underdogs, was about to prove that sometimes the most extraordinary strength comes from the most unexpected places. Part 2. The Galactic Challenge. In the weeks that followed first contact, Earth buzzed with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. The Zarkali, true to their word, had initiated a series of tests to evaluate humanity's worthiness for the Galactic Confederation. These challenges ranged from technological puzzles to ethical dilemmas, each designed to push the limits of human capability and understanding. Dr. Aisha Kamani, Earth's leading xenobiologist, found herself at the forefront of these trials. In a hastily constructed liaison center in Geneva, she faced off against a Zarkali assessor, its crystalline form towering over her. "Your next task," the alien intoned, its facets glowing with an eerie blue light, "is to devise a method of communication with a silicon-based life form we encountered in the Andromeda galaxy. Previous carbon-based species have failed this challenge. You have 24 Earth hours." Aisha's mind raced. Silicon-based life was theoretical on Earth, but apparently commonplace in the wider galaxy. She gathered a team of Earth's brightest minds: linguists, computer scientists, and fellow biologists. As they worked through the night, the Zarkali watched with what seemed like bemused detachment. They truly believe they can succeed where others have failed, one Zarkali remarked to another in their musical language, unaware that Aisha had already cracked the basics of their communication method. Such misplaced confidence. Aisha gritted her teeth and pressed on. By dawn, they had cobbled together a rudimentary translation matrix based on binary code and chemical compound structures. When they presented it to the silicon-based entity, a shimmering, sand-like creature contained in a special chamber, It responded with a series of patterns that the Matrix translated as, "Greetings, carbon friends." The Zarkali's facets pulsed with what might have been surprise. "Impressive," the assessor admitted grudgingly. "But this is merely the beginning. The true tests lie ahead." As the challenges continued, humanity found itself pushed to its limits. They were asked to solve astronomical equations that stretched the boundaries of Earth's most advanced supercomputers, to navigate ethical mazes that questioned the very foundations of human morality, and to demonstrate feats of engineering that seemed impossible given Earth's level of technology. Yet, time and again, humans rose to the occasion. They didn't win every challenge, but they approached each with a creativity and determination that seemed to puzzle the Zarkali. Where the aliens expected failure, they found ingenious workarounds. Where they anticipated surrender, they encountered stubborn perseverance. Captain Sarah Chen, now serving as a military liaison to the Zarkali, couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. "We may not have the most advanced technology," she remarked to Dr. Kamani during a rare break, "but we got something they don't seem to understand." Aisha nodded, her eyes sparkling with a mixture of exhaustion and excitement. "Human spirit," she said. "We've spent our entire history overcoming impossible odds. It's in our DNA." Little did they know, the greatest challenge, and humanity's greatest opportunity, was yet to come. As the Zarkali prepared their final, most difficult test, they remained unaware that the very thing they dismissed as a weakness, Earth's toxic atmosphere, was about to turn the tables in humanity's favor. Earth's secret weapon. The final challenge came without warning. The Zarkali materialized in the United Nations General Assembly, their crystalline forms casting prismatic light across the gathered world leaders. "Your species has demonstrated unexpected aptitude," the lead Zarkali announced, its tones carrying a hint of reluctant admiration. "But this final test will determine your true worth to the Galactic Confederation." A holographic image flickered to life in the center of the room, showing a distant solar system. At its heart, a star pulsed an angry red. "This is Zarkali Prime, our homeworld," the alien continued. "Our sun is dying, centuries before our predictions anticipated. We have tried every method known to our advanced science, but nothing has slowed its decay. Your final challenge is this: find a way to stabilize our star, or at least extend its life long enough for us to evacuate our civilization. You have 1 Earth month." The assembly erupted into murmurs of disbelief. How could they possibly solve a problem that had stumped a far more advanced civilization? Dr. Aisha Kamani, present as a scientific advisor, felt her heart sink. But as she looked around the room, she saw not defeat in her fellow humans' eyes, but determination. They had come too far to give up now. Teams were quickly assembled, drawing experts from every field imaginable. Astrophysicists worked alongside geologists. Biologists collaborated with engineers. Ideas were proposed, debated, and discarded at a frantic pace. It was during one of these marathon brainstorming sessions that Captain Sarah Chen, who had been observing the proceedings, had an epiphany. "What if," she said slowly, "the solution isn't in advanced technology, but in something so basic we've taken it for granted?" All eyes turned to her as she continued. "The Zarkali called our atmosphere toxic. But what if it's not toxic to their star?" The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Earth's atmosphere, rich in oxygen and other elements, might just be the key to reinvigorating the alien sun. Dr. Kamani's eyes widened. "The fusion reactions in their star must be fundamentally different from our sun," she mused. "If we could introduce oxygen and nitrogen in the right proportions." The next weeks were a blur of activity. Simulations were run. Theories were tested and refined. The Zarkali, initially skeptical, provided data about their star that proved crucial to the humans' calculations. As the deadline approached, a plan emerged. Using a combination of Earth's atmospheric gases and a delivery system based on Zarkali technology, they believed they could trigger a reaction in the alien star that would extend its life by thousands of years. On the final day, before the assembled Galactic Confederation, humanity presented their solution. The Zarkeli listened in stunned silence as Dr. Kamani explained how the very atmosphere they had dismissed as primitive could be the salvation of their world. "We propose," she concluded, "a joint mission. Our atmospheric gases, your advanced propulsion, and containment technology. Together, we can save Zarkeli Prime." For a long moment, the alien council was silent. Then, slowly, their facets began to pulse with a warm, golden light, the Zarkeli equivalent of applause. "In all our millennia of exploration," the lead alien said, its tones resonating with genuine emotion, "we have never encountered a species quite like yours. You have not only passed our test, you have humbled us. The Galactic Confederation would be honored to welcome humanity as full members." As cheers erupted in the assembly hall, Captain Chen caught Dr. Kamani's eye. They shared a smile, knowing that this was just the beginning. Humanity had proven its worth not through advanced technology, but through its greatest strengths: creativity, determination, and the ability to find extraordinary solutions in the most ordinary places. The stars, it seemed, were now within reach. Turning the tables. The joint Earth-Zarkeli mission to stabilize the alien sun became the stuff of legend. As massive ships, their holds filled with carefully processed Earth atmosphere, made their way across the galaxy, humanity found itself thrust onto the galactic stage in a way no one could have predicted. Dr. Aisha Kamani, now head of the newly formed Interstellar Cooperation Initiative, stood on the observation deck of the UES Horizon, watching as the swirling red giant of Zarkeli Prime grew larger in the viewscreen. Beside her, Captain Sarah Chen, recently promoted to Admiral, checked the final calculations on her datavat. "Ready to make history, Doctor?" Sarah asked, a hint of excitement breaking through her professional demeanor. Aisha nodded, her eyes fixed on the dying star. "It's strange," she mused. "A few months ago, we were the primitive species. Now the fate of an entire civilization rests in our hands." The next few hours were tense. Specialized probes, designed by human and Zarkeli scientists working in tandem, plunged into the roiling surface of the star. They carried a precisely calibrated mixture of oxygen, nitrogen, and other trace elements from Earth's atmosphere. As the probes reached their designated depths, they released their payload. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, slowly, instruments began to register changes. The star's output stabilized, then began to increase. Areas of cooler material, rich in the introduced elements, formed intricate patterns on the surface, like celestial continents on a sea of fire. A cheer went up from the combined crew of humans and Zarkeli. The plan had worked. Zarkeli Prime's star would now burn steadily for millennia to come, giving the alien civilization time to either adapt or relocate at their leisure. As news of the success spread, humanity's status in the galactic community underwent a seismic shift. The species once dismissed as primitive was now hailed as saviors and innovators. Requests for human expertise and Earth's exotic atmospheric elements poured in from across the Confederation. But with this newfound respect came new challenges. Some members of the Galactic Confederation, wary of humanity's rapid rise, began to whisper about the potential threat these unpredictable beings might pose. Others sought to exploit Earth's resources, seeing the planet as little more than a reservoir of valuable gases. It fell to people like Aisha and Sarah to navigate these treacherous diplomatic waters. They worked tirelessly to forge alliances, negotiate fair trade agreements, and ensure that humanity's voice was heard in Confederation matters. "We're not here to dominate," Aisha found herself explaining to a gathering of alien diplomats. "We want to cooperate, to learn and to teach. Our strength comes not from conquest, but from adaptation and mutual understanding." As if to underscore her point, human scientists, working with their new alien colleagues, began to make breakthrough after breakthrough. The study of Earth's complex ecosystem led to advancements in terraforming technology. Human medical techniques, evolved to deal with a high oxygen environment, provided new insights into healing for a variety of species. Perhaps most importantly, humanity's history of overcoming adversity and working together despite differences became a model for solving conflicts within the Confederation. Where advanced alien races saw insurmountable problems, humans often found unexpected solutions. It's not about having the most advanced technology, Sarah often said in her addresses to new cadets at the Interstellar Academy. It's about having the courage to think differently, to see possibilities where others see only obstacles. As the galactic year drew to a close, humanity found itself in a position no one could have imagined when the Zarkali first appeared in Earth's sky. They were no longer the newcomers, scrambling to prove their worth. They had become essential members of the galactic community, respected for their ingenuity, valued for their unique perspectives, and admired for their indomitable spirit. The universe, it turned out, had much to learn from the inhabitants of a small blue planet with a toxic atmosphere. And humanity, true to its nature, was eager to both teach and learn. A new era of cooperation. 5 years after the salvation of Zarkali Prime, the Galactic Confederation gathered for its centennial assembly. The Great Hall, a marvel of alien architecture that seemed to defy the laws of physics, was abuzz with activity. Representatives from thousands of worlds mingled, their diverse forms a testament to the incredible variety of life in the universe. At the center of it all, somewhat to their own surprise, were the humans. Dr. Aisha Kamani, now serving as Earth's senior ambassador to the Confederation, stood with Admiral Sarah Chen, watching the proceedings with a mixture of pride and awe. "Did you ever imagine we'd be here?" Sarah asked, gesturing to the assembled alien dignitaries. 5 years ago, we were just trying to prove we weren't completely primitive." Aisha smiled, shaking her head. "Never in my wildest dreams. But then again, humanity has always had a knack for exceeding expectations." Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of a Zarkali elder, its crystalline form glowing with a warm golden light. "Ah, our human friends," it chimed melodiously. "I bring news that I think will please you." The humans listened intently as the Zarkali explained. The Confederation Council had just voted to establish a new division dedicated to the study and application of alternative evolutionary approaches, a diplomatic way of saying they wanted to learn more about how less technologically advanced species solved problems. "Your Earth," the Zarkali said, its facets pulsing with what Aisha had learned to recognize as excitement, "will serve as the headquarters for this new initiative. We have much to learn from your kind." As the news spread through the assembly, Aisha and Sarah found themselves at the center of a whirlwind of congratulations and questions. Representatives from across the galaxy sought them out, eager to discuss potential collaborations and exchanges of knowledge. A reptilian diplomat from a heavy-gravity world wanted to know more about human construction techniques, seeing potential applications for his own seismically unstable planet. A gaseous entity, communicating through a series of gentle air pulses, was fascinated by Earth's weather patterns and the complex interplay of atmospheric gases. But it wasn't just Earth's physical properties that intrigued the galactic community. Many were curious about human culture, art, and philosophy. The concept of music, in particular, seemed to captivate species that communicated in ways vastly different from sound waves. "I think we've started something bigger than we realized," Sarah murmured to Aisha as they watched a holographic display of a human orchestra draw a crowd of fascinated aliens. Aisha nodded, her eyes bright with the possibilities stretching out before them. "This is what we've always dreamed of, isn't it? Not just reaching the stars, but truly becoming part of a larger community." As the assembly continued, plans were laid for the future. Joint scientific missions, cultural exchange programs, a new era of cooperation. As the assembly continued, plans were laid for the future. Joint scientific missions, cultural exchange programs, and interstellar educational initiatives were proposed and eagerly accepted. Earth, once dismissed as a backwater world, was quickly becoming a hub of galactic cooperation and innovation. The Zarkali, in a gesture of goodwill, offered to share their advanced propulsion technology, which would allow humanity to explore further into the cosmos. In return, Earth agreed to establish atmospheric processing plants to provide their life-giving gases to worlds in need across the Confederation. As the assembly drew to a close, Aisha found herself invited to address the gathered representatives. Standing before the diverse array of galactic life, she felt the weight of the moment. "Friends, colleagues, fellow explorers of the cosmos," she began, her voice steady despite her nervousness. 5 years ago, humanity looked up at the stars and wondered if we were alone. Today, we stand among you as partners, as allies, as friends. She paused, looking out over the sea of alien faces, some familiar now, others still bewilderingly strange. We come from a world that many of you once considered hostile and toxic, but we've learned that what may be poison to one can be the essence of life to another. This diversity, this incredible adaptability of life, is our greatest strength as a confederation. Aisha's words resonated through the chamber, automatically translated into thousands of languages and forms of communication. Humanity pledges to continue learning, to keep pushing boundaries, and to always remember that our greatest achievements come when we work together. We may have helped save a star, but you have given us a galaxy. For that, we are eternally grateful. As Aisha concluded her speech, the assembly erupted in a cacophony of alien applause, flashing lights, pulsing energy fields, rhythmic vibrations, and sounds across the spectrum. It was a moment that would be remembered in human history for generations to come. Later, as Aisha and Sarah prepared to return to Earth, they stood at a viewport, gazing out at the glittering expanse of the galaxy. "You know," Sarah said thoughtfully, "when I joined the Earth Defense Force, I never imagined defense would mean protecting alien civilizations from dying stars." Aisha chuckled. "And I never thought my biology degree would lead to reshaping galactic politics." She turned to her friend, her expression becoming serious. "We've come so far, but this is just the beginning. The real work starts now." Sarah nodded, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "We're ready for it. Humanity has always thrived on challenges. And now," she gestured at the star-studded void, "now we have a whole galaxy of challenges to tackle." As their ship broke orbit, heading back to the little blue planet that had amazed the cosmos, both women felt a sense of anticipation. Earth was entering a new chapter in its history, no longer alone in the universe, no longer dismissed as primitive or toxic. Humanity had found its place among the stars, not through overwhelming technology or military might, but through the very things that had allowed them to thrive on their challenging homeworld: adaptability, creativity, and an unwavering spirit of cooperation. The galaxy would never be the same, and neither would humanity.